Hello everyone, Chad Osborne here, President and CEO of Call It Closed International Realty. We're here in the beautiful Call It Closed studios in Fort Myers, Florida, and so happy today to have Brian Hammermeister with us. Brian is a great friend. We've known each other now for 6 years, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that and how we met. But Brian is a great real estate agent here in Southwest Florida, recently moved over to Call It Closed, and so we just wanted to chat about what's going on in our market, what's going on across the country. It's a crazy market.
Indeed.
And tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and why you joined Call It Closed.
Awesome. So I was in real estate for 27 years. I've owned my own brokerage before. I actually started at RE/MAX when the best of the best worked at RE/MAX, right? You had to have like a letter from the governor to get in. And then after 2 years, I actually opened my own real estate brokerage, and I did that for until 2006, 7, 8, the crash, right? I got tired of throwing people out of their houses, and I retired from real estate and said I was never going to do it again. Actually let my license completely lapse, my broker's license and my real estate license, and got into financial services where I was coaching and training and recruiting people to do financial services. All the skills that I had learned in real estate were actually the same skills there. Well, the good news is that I've worked myself out of business in financial services, meaning I've coached people well enough, I've trained them, I've brought enough people in that they don't need me anymore. And so I got back into real estate. You know, you kind of always go back to what you know. I know real estate. And so I got back into the real estate business, and I can tell you that it wasn't easy, right? I'm 50 years old now. I was 49 at the time, and I had to take real estate classes again and take the entire Florida pre-license class, and then I had to pass the real estate test again, which I didn't think I was going to pass, which was a little scary. But no, I mean, I got back into it. I joined Keller Williams coming back in. I had been a team leader at Keller Williams in the past. And it was right down the street from my financial services office. So it was like simple. And then, one of the things I like about Chad is that, you don't care what company someone's with. You want to kind of help everybody, right? And when you were starting this company, I remember you calling me and asking questions about what I liked about this company and what I liked about my independent company. And I really respected that about you, in that you were trying to build something that was kind of bigger than just a local company, right? And so you wanted to take the best of kind of everyone and make a super company, which is what I think Call It Closed is going to turn into being, is one of those companies that goes across state lines, that will be across the country. And I just wanted to finally be a part of that.
Well, that's awesome, man. Thank you for saying that. That is our mission, of course, is to help agents. We have agents that, have left Call It Closed. They were with us for a while and left Call It Closed. That, I still talk to those agents and still answer questions, and things like that. And, what I found is that several of them have come back. They found out that maybe the grass wasn't greener on the other side. So I appreciate you saying that. And obviously Call It Closed, when I started the company, the intention was always for it to be a huge company, a global company. We're in 14 states now and, continuing to grow. As of the date of this, recording, and always looking at new states, talking to a broker later today to hopefully open up Pennsylvania and just, continue to gain market share. But our agents are what makes that possible. I mean, our agents are what have made us, what we are. We're really less in the real estate business and more in the real estate agent business, and so we have to take care of our agents. My wife is still a super producer. And so we know what agents need on a daily basis, and we try to give them all of those tools and systems. Of course, we're not perfect. We're always learning, trying to get better, trying to add more tools and systems, trying to add more training and coaching to help our agents. And so, it's really an honor that you did decide to come over. I mean, Keller Williams is obviously still the #1 real estate company in the world as far as agent count. I think they're over 200,000 now, which is crazy. And so for you to leave that environment and come over to Call It Closed, what were some of the other things that you saw as benefits to you in your business to join Call It Closed?
Okay, well, one of them was, of course, financial,
Sure.
right? I mean, Keller, great company, but they still are going to take money out of your check every single time until you reach their magic number, and that varies from state to state, city to city. Plus, they're going to charge you a monthly fee. So I had owned a 100% company, and then I went to a traditional company when I got my license back, and it just doesn't sit right when you're at the closing table and you see what you're actually making on a transaction. And honestly, part of it was just being lazy, not switching companies quicker, because you already have your cards and you've ordered your signs and you've got the stuff, and so it was just laziness on my part is why I didn't come over sooner, honestly. And you did a great job of following up. Like, you didn't pressure me, but like you did follow up. And one day I think I said, like, I'm gonna join tomorrow, and then you, like, 2 months later, you were like, didn't get the paperwork back. But it's part of my growth process was having to realize that yes, it's a great company. And listen, a lot of people, when I owned a company before my 100% company, one of my value propositions was that I was a non-competing broker. And I think that was a mistake. And here's why. I lost touch with the actual field by being a non-competing broker. Does that make sense? So you saying that Aprili's a producer at the company makes me happy, because A, she's in touch with the community, B, she's in touch with the market, and there's small little nuances in the market. We were discussing them earlier today, interest rates and buyers and sellers and markets, that if you're not in the market actively, you'll miss out on those little nuances that can change your business for a long time to come.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we used to own several Remaxes, as you know, and our CIC agents know. And that was one of the main reasons that we left, that we sold Remax. We just felt like there was that breakdown from the top to the bottom to the agents, in the field, mm-hmm. and they didn't seem to be as concerned about making up that difference and really giving agents what they need. And so it changes, as the market changes, what you need changes as an agent.
100%.
The tools sometimes change. The coaching and training definitely changes. What to do in a market like we've been in for the past 2 years versus what to do in a market that it kind of looks like we're shifting a little bit right now. As you mentioned, interest rates are going up in a lot of markets. That makes a huge difference. When an interest rate jumps from 2.75 to 5.75, it affects first-time home buyers. It affects a lot of people in some other markets. Now here in Southwest Florida, Naples, we're still about 70-30 cash, so it doesn't affect us as much. But what does affect us is the stock market dropping 1,000 points in a day,
100%.
Which of course it has done recently. So there's a lot of different factors, and so being in the real estate business still, and having Aprili do that, I do think helps us to better lead the real estate company and the agents. And of course, we constantly are asking our agents in other parts of the country for feedback. Hey, what's going on in your market? What's going on in your part of the country? Charlotte is, like, I still think one of the hottest markets in the country right now.
And all these markets are hot, but here I'll give your listeners a little sneak peek. I've done 75 broker price opinions in the last 2 months. So if you think the market's not shifting, you're wrong, because banks are owning properties currently, and they're getting ready to own them, and they want broker price opinions done on lots of properties, at least in our area right now.
No, absolutely. We have an agent here at Call It Closed that specializes in BPOs, broker price opinions. And he told me 2 days ago he got 400 orders in Jacksonville, mm-hmm. just in one market, and he does them all over the state. And I think he may do 1,000 BPOs this month. So that definitely says something about what's going on in the market. And our agents out there, may want to start looking at some different ways to. I mean, who knows? We may get back into the REO business a little bit.
Let's hope not, but it's possible. And you brought up interest rates, and I'm an old guy. I've been in the business a long time. I just want you guys to know that a 5% interest rate isn't horrible, right? Like we were doing FHA adjustable rates, getting people down to 5% not that long ago. So if you're telling your customers that interest rates are bad now, trust me, they're not that bad at 5%.
No, they're really not. In fact, we released a graphic a few days ago through our social media channels that showed, the difference in payment between like a 3% interest rate, 4%, 5%, even up to 6%. And it's really not that much. I mean, per $100,000, I think a percent is just, it's $100 or something a month.
Correct.
Because we're talking about, spread out over 30 years, right? So, well, anything else that you want to say or tell the audience out there about your business? We definitely will put your contact information, and if somebody wants to get a hold of you, the markets that you specialize in or anything, tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I'm in Lee County, Florida, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Lehigh Acres, and I specialize in residential resales. I most of my business is listings based, of course, and I use my 27 years of contacts basically to build my business, right? And what I found recently is people think they know what their home is worth, and they're usually shooting a little bit shy of what it actually is. I went out and talked to someone the other day that thought their house was worth like $350,000 and it was really worth about $475,000. Now, as long as they're leaving Fort Myers, it's probably a good time to sell, right? But right now, the lateral moves are kind of down, right? Because you're getting priced out of the market in certain aspects. So I think we're in flux, and one of the things I love about Call It Closed is that they're staying on top of the statistics, right? Like I don't have to go out and find my own statistics. I can call Chad, I can call Aprilli, and they can tell me the stats of what's actually happening. I love that about this company. But the reality is that I'm happy here, right? And I like getting paid at closing. I think it's simple. I think the process of the back office has been simple. You've got a lot of great people in place, and that's why I'm here, right? And so if you have anyone in Lee County, Florida that's looking to sell or to buy, I'm happy to work with them.
Great, man. Well, like I said, we'll put Brian's contact information in the link there under the video. So great to have you, Brian. Really
Thanks,
appreciate
Brian.
your time. Appreciate you stopping by the studio.
Absolutely.
We'll be doing more of these interviews soon, so stay tuned to the Call It Closed channel. Click the like and subscribe there, and we'll get back with you very soon with some more great videos of some of our great associates across the country. Thanks so much, and close more with Call It Closed.